What's up gamers, Snowzone here. This video will showcase the arcane damage of Samurai with two builds, starting with Explosive Kunai. This is a projectile skill that explodes and stuns almost everything it touches. This skill is viable for leveling up and for entry to Hell map clearing. It does have a chest augment, but it's not super necessary until you want to push to Hell 4 or Hell 5 farming. You only really need to use two buttons here, Kunai for damage and Empire Slash for mobility. However, if you choose to level with this build, I would also recommend maxing out Blade Barrier for damage alongside Exploding Kunai. For single target, Exploding Bolas applies Elemental Break, and Live by the Sword provides a nice burst of attack speed. Keep in mind that Explosive Kunai scales with attack speed instead of cast rate, so for gear we have the Dawnbringer with Moonstone gems, Teril's Chestplate and Gabriel's Dauntless Vision with an Angelic Gem and Mevius Soul gems, Amulet of the Colosseum, Lost Dimension, Arcane Rolled Etherwalks, Manabender's Will, Arcanus, Engineer's Tool Belt, and Arcanum Asphyxiators. For charms, we have Tablet of Awakening, Torch of Shadows, Damien's Cage, the Detonator, Barrel of Explosives, Torstein's Anvil, Terethiel's Ancient Wisdom, Arcane Pumpkin, and Fulgurite. Moon Shard is a good alternative if you need enemy res penetration, and a well-rolled Chaos Gem plus Annihilator will be better than Damien's Cage. Reverse Card is a significant boost to clear speed, but I couldn't get footage due to a recent Infinite Explosion bug. This is fixed for live. You'll want to max and specialize Explosive Kunai and max Shuriken Throw, Exploding Bolas, and Way of the Warrior. One pointers all around for useful synergy bonuses, passives, and buffs, with the rest going into Smoke Bomb. Alternatively, you can max and use Blade Barrier instead of Shuriken Throw for more damage while leveling and for single target. In the Here level tree, we grab all 4 glyph slots and most of the beneficial major nodes. Singularity often pulls groups of mobs into one spot, Mystic Insight gives us the only sources of spell crit in the game, Infinity allows us a chance to double a spell cast, and Tinker occasionally gives us more explosions. Glyphs now roll a quality, and take a lot more essence to level up in this season compared to last season, so for that, I'm only using level 4 glyphs at 90% quality here. There's only one slightly beneficial mercenary skill here, which is Burst of Agility at the bottom middle. The main thing we want is for him to equip a Valkyrie runeword that gives us an attack speed aura, and some tanky pieces so he doesn't die as easily. Some less expensive gear alternatives include Gaze of the Oblivion, Celestial's Authority, Gem King's Garb, with 6 pristine amethysts, and Celestis runeword. For charms, you can use Moon Shard and Jack's Pumpkin Spice. Runeword bases have expanded slightly as far as the pool of available mods and the amount of mods that can show up. Common bases will always only have one mod, superior bases will have one mod plus enhanced damage for weapons or defense for other slots, and exceptional bases will have 2 mods plus enhanced. You generally want to look for attack speed on weapons, then all skills, explosion damage, arcane damage, or magic damage. Intelligence is also good. If you're leveling with this build, keep an eye out for all rune drops as well as 2-socket swords for Celestis, 4-socket swords and shields for Skysong, 2-socket helmets for Scholar or Delirium Tremens, 2-socket boots for Ghosts or Ninja Tabbies, and 3-socket chests for Angle Ozana or 4-socket chests for Force. I have not been able to explore all possibilities of exceptional base mod rolls because they are quite rare, and some of them can roll with chance to cast mods, which brings another level of depth for playstyle synergy that I can't even imagine. I'm excited to see what people come up with. For the most part, Arcane Damage Samurai is mainly kitted for map clearing, and this build will definitely help you get started. The next build I show performs exceptionally well at map clearing, but requires a good foundation of arcane-based cooldown recovery gear, as well as a mandatory chest augment. Introducing Shadowstep. Max and specialize this skill, then max Fan of Knives, Exploding Bolas, and Way of the Warrior. 1-pointers all around again, and dump into Explosive Kunai. Although you need to swap your chest augment, the gear is mostly the same. Attack speed doesn't do much here, but you can keep your Moonstone gems if you want to use kunais for single target later. Otherwise, place an Angelic gem and some elemental gems in the Dawnbringer. Our goal is to have as close to 100% ignore enemy resist as possible without going too far over the cap, to maintain at least 100% cooldown recovery for smooth shadow step usage, and to have a good base of explosion radius which is already covered by the charm set, the belt, and the gloves. You can experiment with other pieces to figure out what ratio of cooldown recovery to damage feels best for you. The setup right now has our only source of multicast from Glyph of Infinity. Lost Dimension runeword also gives a small chance when equipped, and these small amounts are generally good for clear speed. But if you try with Nemo's staff, you'll find yourself teleporting too far and into walls often. Multicast keeps the directional movement from the original spellcast, so in my opinion you shouldn't use Nemo's as it's not easy to navigate smoothly. I personally prefer this build for endgame map clear because it requires very little input and there's not as much screen clutter compared to kunais, even when you set skill opacity low. Oh yeah, speaking of potions, I usually end up forgetting about them because there's no real specific time you want to save them for, except maybe abominations. You can, however, use Liquor Holster, which makes potion effects permanent. You will lose a little bit of explosion radius in exchange for more damage, and you can even benefit from more magic find and EXP gain. Good luck finding one of these though. The damage potions are Empty Bottle of Vodka and Ghostly Potion. I hope you found this video insightful, and I look forward to seeing you guys this season. Good luck.